Alabama's stunning loss, Missouri's unmasking top college football week 6 winners and losers. Beat Georgia one Saturday, lose to Vanderbilt the next. No team has had a week quite like number 2 Alabama. After earning the most impressive win of September by knocking off the Bulldogs, the Crimson Tide kicked off October with a loss at Vanderbilt that qualifies as one of the most shocking upsets in SEC history. Led by a near-perfect performance from quarterback Diego Pavia, a ball-control game plan that kept Alabama's offense on the sideline and 2 big takeaways, the Commodores knocked off Alabama 40-35 for the first win in program history against a top-5 opponent. The win was the program's first against the Tide since 1984. The toast of the town last week, Alabama coach Kalen DeBoer now has to manage the fallout from an epic flop. You can hear the Alabama fans from here. No, this would have never happened under Nick Saban. That's a fact. Vanderbilt scored 13 points in 4 meetings against the Saban-era Tide but had 13 points at the end of the first quarter on Saturday. Up 23-14 at the break, the Commodores weathered an Alabama surge and then delivered the dagger with a touchdown to make it 40-28 with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Forget everything you thought you knew about Alabama, that this was an elite team, with an elite offense, an elite quarterback, an elite head coach and the chance to improve every week on the way to an SEC championship. This loss erases all of the good vibes coming out of the win against the Bulldogs and threatens to engulf DeBoer's first season. Meanwhile, Vanderbilt put on a masterclass on how to pull off an upset against an opponent with a massive talent advantage. The Commodores controlled the clock, holding possession for over 40 minutes. They avoided any turnovers. Alabama ran 46 plays to the Commodores' 73, including 53 on the ground. They had more carries than the Tide had plays, period. They were unique enough on offense to wobble the Alabama defense. At times, the Commodores took what they wanted against a defense and staff that had no answers. And they were helped by the obvious. Alabama thought they were going to roll. Would that mindset have happened under Saban? The answer is moot. Saban is gone, and things just aren't the same. For this, Alabama is by far the biggest loser from Week 6 of the regular season. The number 3 Buckeyes' first test of the season went down smoothly in the second half. The first wasn't great. OSU led just 7-0 against Iowa at the break after committing 2 turnovers with another turnover on the downs. But the offense came alive in the second half, sparked by freshman wide receiver Jeremiah Smith and established veteran Emeka Egbuka with a boost from the Hawkeyes' own giveaways. Smith made a ridiculous one-handed touchdown grab to make it 14-0 5 minutes into the third quarter. Quarterback Will Howard ran one in after an Iowa fumble and Egbuka scored twice in the second half and 3 times overall as the Buckeyes pulled away to win 35-7. Almost 9 months after losing the 2023 national championship to Michigan, Washington made a Big Ten statement with a 27-17 win at home against the number 10 Wolverines. Michigan made a needed quarterback change, bumping veteran Jack Tuttle into the lineup after trying out Alex Orji, and Tuttle was better until a painful interception late in the fourth quarter that helped seal the Huskies' win. After a bit of a sloppy start dotted with painful losses to Washington State and Rutgers, the Huskies got a must-have win in advance of a tough run of games in Big Ten play. SMU has been an unexpected success story as new members of the ACC. The Mustangs moved to 5-1 with a 34-27 win at number 22 Louisville and is one of 3 2-0 teams atop the conference standings, along with number 14 Clemson and Virginia. The Cavaliers are another great story under third-year coach Tony Elliott. SMU quarterback Kevin Jennings had a career day against the Cardinals, setting new career bests with 281 passing yards and 113 rushing yards to go with a touchdown. Because this team might end up being an interesting addition to the postseason race, SMU plays Stanford, Duke, Pittsburgh, Boston College, Virginia and California in the second half. Is beating Central Florida 24-13 the moment that Billy Napier saved his job and booked another season as Florida's head coach? Let's get serious. Napier is headed toward the end of his tenure after 3 seasons, and the Gators are probably still headed for another year short of the postseason. But let's give some credit here. UCF had this game circled but never had a chance in what was easily the Gators' best performance of the season. Beating the Knights is good for business in general. Losing to a program UF views as an in-state upstart would have been really tough to swallow, and is the team's second win in a row heading into a brutal 7-game stretch that includes games against Tennies.